Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek TV at Spiel 2014. I'm sitting down with the ever-lovely Tom Lehman, designer of many games, and Christian Hildebrand of Amigo Games. How are you both?
Fine.
Fine, thank you.
Glad to be here.
I was just excited that you finally, I've been searching for the pronunciation of this for a while because I've only seen it in print, which, aside from looking rather terrifyingly complex, is just Ciúb.
Yes, it's Gaelic, and I asked friends who speak Welsh, and they said it's Ciúb.
But it looks so impressive, though.
Yeah, but it's Ciúb, and it's very easy for all the Americans to understand it.
Well, and I'm guessing it might just have to do something with the fact that we're
rolling lots of dice,
which happen to be cubes.
Yeah. So Ciúb is a dice rolling game where we're trying to score victory points by claiming these cards. And we start with a set of 5 white dice, and then we can switch into these different dice during play. We have these cards on offer in 2 rows. The lower row is what we could claim. These are on deck, then we'll draw from this. We've set things up for a 3-player game, so there's 1 more column than number of players. And we've removed all of the cards with owls on them for making it a short game.
Okay.
Okay, which is what we recommend for your very first game. So how does a turn work? Well, you begin by just, whoops, almost. How does a turn work? You begin by taking your reservation chip and putting it somewhere. And I look at these cards and I notice, oh, here's something with just 2 sixes. I think I can get that. So I'm going to go reserve this, thinking ahead the next turn. Okay? So then, how am I going to get 6s? If we look at these white dice that you start with, there are no 6s on them.
No.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap in some dice that have 6s, like these red dice right here. Okay, see, they have 6s on them.
And I'm guessing the breakdown of each die side is printed on the
right
bottom
on
of
the
this
cards.
card.
That's what those cards are. They summarize the dice for you. And on your turn, you have to either swap in or set aside at least 1 die on every roll. Okay? So I've swapped in something, I can re-roll all of them. And hopefully I'll get 6s, but you notice this absolute paucity of 6s. If I'd gotten a re-roll, I could have swapped in another one and kept going. But as it is, it's not looking great. So now I think, well, what's my fallback plan in case, you know, everything goes wrong here? And I'm going to take a 3 because that could be used for either this card or for this card. So I'm going to set aside a 3. This is your chip over there, and re-roll these. So we'll show you how a really bad roll works. And yes, I seem to be having trouble here. I'm not getting any swaps. What am I going to do? Well, in this case, I'm going to take the 5 here, because that's still something that'll work over there, right? So I had a plan involving 6s that's just not coming together here. And now, this is even getting worse. This is like the absolute worst rolls you can get. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this aside. Could be grim here. Now I finally get a 6, but that's not what I'm going to aim for here. Since I've committed to trying to do that, I'm going to go for the all odd dice, swapping it in here and putting out the white one. Right? Then I'm going to continue, and there's a 3. The 5 is the hard part here because there's no
1s on the red
there are 5s on that. I need 1s. There's more 1s on those yellow than the red. So I do that. Now I have to get a 1 here in order to do something, and I fail. All right. What happens if you fail? You get another die to take for next turn.
To be honest, you did not fail. Count the numbers on your dice.
True enough. Aha! See, this is why he's here.
Yeah.
I actually have 20.
Hey!
Always a semantic thing for him. Okay.
So in that case, I claim this card. Thank you, Christian.
Yeah.
And I get to bring down another card. Since it had my chip on it, the chip is currently set aside. And I pull down something else. Except I don't want that one. I want this one. I choose any of the 4.
Columns. Okay.
Right. I originally had a different plan.
Flip the next card from there.
And then I flipped the next one to join in. Okay, and these equals, any number or symbol would work. So the fact I have some odd dice here isn't a problem. But I'm no longer, I think, going for these high numbers. So I'm going to take these and return them to white. Can you give me a white cube there? And I'm allowed to trade any number of dice for white dice. My limits are I can have no more than 5 whites and no more than 3 of any color. 4 of any color.
So nicely listed on your
and
card
this
there.
mat steps you right through there. So now I'm going to force you to play a turn.
All right.
There. So the first thing you do,
Oh,
see, you saw me do that very thing.
I did. All right. We'll
Right?
go for all 3s.
Okay. Now go get them.
All right. Oh,
All right.
now so can I reserve more than 1
Yes,
die if I
yes,
choose?
any
Well,
number.
obviously I am sort of on the right track, but while I'm at it, if there's something that does make 3s more likely, then that's
Yep.
looking like
Exactly,
a good thing.
that's the
Now,
best
can
move.
I trade and reserve in the same turn? Okay, so
No.
I decided to reserve
Yeah,
instead.
yes, you can do that.
Oh, okay.
You just can't bring it in and set it
And-
aside. You have to
okay.
roll
But
it.
yeah,
you
I'll
know?
take my 2 yellows
Only
there.
one of those. You traded for 1.
Oh, I did only trade for 1. Okay,
Good try.
so that-
Good try.
That's how I cheat on camera.
All
All
right.
right, so I think I will do probably the same thing. I will trade in those 2 since 3s are more
Exactly.
likely.
Sure.
Oh, all right. So now
But
I'm more in
here
trouble.
you could do this card, 1, 3, 3, and just stop right now.
All right. Well, let's say I just stop right now.
So you just set these all aside, you grab
Claim
this.
that card.
And then since you
Choose one.
have all these odd dice, you might bring this one down and then flip over another one.
Now, what happens to my chip here since I?
It sits there, and as long as your chip is there, no one else can claim that card. Okay, so it reserves, and sometimes you reserve to block someone while you aim for another one.
It's my turn now.
Yeah.
Finally, you have the possibility
Yep.
to change, to trade any dice back to white dice. But
I'm going to say since I see this card that I could get already, I'm going to say no.
yes, because
Yeah.
if you think that you can get this card the next turn.
Right,
Right.
because I have the
But
feeling
now
I
it's my
know what's
turn.
going to happen. Or do you block
Yes,
me?
so I block this
So you
card
see that.
because I know that you have the dice to get very easily that card.
Right.
So it's my
and that's
turn now.
why you might have painted back one to white, you know, and those are some of the things that can happen.
So my turn. What do I want?
Here, I'm just going to put these in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, try to roll them right around there.
I tried the 2 6s, so I trade these 2 to the reds.
Yep. And maybe you'll trade some in for control dice.
I trade this, yes, to a control die.
About one of those.
There's one of them.
I think you should try
so
one of
I
those.
take this one,
Yeah.
Ooh.
New symbols to explain.
Yes. and it's coming.
Yeah.
So I have a 6. That's great. And with this symbol, I can adjust any die. I can adjust this die, or I can adjust one of the other dice.
Okay.
I adjust this die
To
the
a
6,
6.
of course. Where's the 6? Here's
There
the
it
6.
is. Mhm.
Yep.
I put it right here into my dice
Set
tray,
aside pool.
and I have to put also this die. I have
Right
to
here.
also set aside this because I use the power of the die.
Okay.
Yep.
And so I already have the result I want to have here.
Yep.
I can trade this one, and I do this for a green die,
Yep.
and I roll
You
again,
roll.
and I hope that,
Yes, that's exactly
For
what
the
you
symbol?
want.
Was it?
that's great. There we
Yeah.
have magnets under the table.
Yep.
And roll this again, it's only a
Yeah.
1, I can do nothing
You might
with
have
that.
hoped to
So-
re-roll and trade for another
Exactly.
one of these.
Because what I can do now is, I have 2 6s, great. I claim this card. I take, I don't know which one.
the 147 is what I do.
Yes, it is. 147. Here's a new card. And now I have this symbol. We have not explained this until
Yes.
now.
Yep.
This symbol means, this symbol means I trade this die for 2 others. So I can give away this, and I can take 2 other dice. It must be of another color, so I cannot take green one. So
It has to be only one colored one because you couldn't have more than 4
I just
colored
take
ones.
two white die
Right. And now he's going to start next turn with
with
6
6
dice.
die instead of the 5.
Yeah.
Now I'm noticing a rather ominous skull sight.
Yes. What happens if you get a skull? If you roll a skull and you're unable to adjust it away from a skull by some means, then you must set it aside on that roll. Okay.
So this die is lost for this turn normally.
That's right. Although, if you get lots of skulls, you can sort of go get the equals with 4 skulls instead of 4 of a kind of anything else.
But to be honest, I've never seen this in all our games.
I've seen 6 of a kind with skulls in our testing.
And it looks like we have one last
One
symbol
more
here.
die. That means that you re-roll either this die or another die. Okay, so that's re-roll 1 die. It's another way to adjust it, or get something away from being a skull. You re-roll it. Yeah.
So obviously we're collecting points off the cards.
Right.
What triggers the end of the game?
So
we had 2 things during the game I want to mention right here.
Sure.
If you have no result to gain a card.
if I had managed to screw up and only have, this a bad result, not 20 on my roll, then what I would do is I would get an additional die for next turn, but I don't get a card.
Exactly.
Okay.
The other thing is, if you have a result to get a card, you have to reduce the number of dice to 5. So it's a normal problem in the problem you know from deck building games. Once you have a very good deck, you have this runaway problem.
Right.
And here, if you get victory points, at that moment you have to reduce your dice back to 5 and to start again to build up your deck of dice.
But notice that that's in step 3 when you reduce down. So if you reduce down and then have these,
then
you
trade.
can grow.
Okay.
And that leads us a little bit to your question about how does the game end. Notice that we're going from the new moon to the middle moon, then later we'll get to almost full. And when the last one of these goes over, then the next person to claim a card gets the card and this, a bonus. Then each other player gets 1 more turn. Okay. And you'll notice some of these later ones are involving like 6 dice. So this game is really a game of dice management, as you have to get used to this using these symbols to both claim a card once and
prepare for the next round.
Prepare for the next round. And the splitting your attention between the current round and the next, I think, is what's very unique about this game. And of course, it gets harder when you need more and more dice to claim a card.
Yes, I'm looking at that 33 or more is certainly looking a bit impressively high at the moment.
So that's the game Ciúb. It's a dice strategy game.
For
and
4,
also
up to 4.
Up to 4 players. And it has this, I think, unique dice management aspect of splitting this turn and the next turn.
Well, Tom, as always, and Christian, a pleasure to sit down and talk about your new game.
And you got to play.
And I got to play, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's Ciúb.
All right, thank you very much.
I love it when I actually get to play.
Yeah, well, it's a nice game.